Hello and welcome to the show. We are here today on Forza Horizon 4 with another team adventure. This one is all about the 90s cars. Yes, we have a selection of vehicles made in the 90s that are going to go racing, built to B-class. Now, I am driving a Galant. Now, I've struggled to make this car work in the past a little bit. I've made it be okay, but never be particularly fast. I have built it differently here. I've built it quite mad, if I'm honest. It's running standard tyres, but it has some 360 horsepower, which is quite a lot. Okay, it's not, you can get thousands of horsepower in B-class, but all-wheel drive means it should be able to use that power to an extent. It's going to be a point-and-squirt straight-line speed car. That is basically what we are going to have here. It's an all-acceleration machine is what I'm driving in this one. It will be able to take the corners with some level of competence, but it's all about the straight line. But at the end of the day, the chassis is not too bad in this one either. We worked our way up into second. Now, Deathstrike has got a Golf. Now, I have one of them Golfs. They are very good in B-class. I know. I like mine. I was tempted to run mine again because it is a very, very good B-class car, the VR6. There we go. That's the one. I try to remember the engine style. So, yeah, that's a pretty solid car. If the Galant can beat that, I'd be impressed. Now, this is a circuit that, it's got acceleration zones. Honestly, this is probably not where my car is going to excel, particularly. There's not really enough kind of hard acceleration zones, and we lose too much time here. It's these corners that kind of, murder some of the speed out of the car, although Deathstrike is finding that lampposts can get in the way, and that will also murder some of the speed out of that car. Are we going to wander a little bit wide? Yep. Well, we'll take out the street furniture, it's fine. We've got enough speed in this thing. It's actually relatively light, this car. It's 2,500 pounds, which is not too bad, all things considered. I've got max weight reduction on this. As I said, yeah, the compromise for all of that is it's on standard tyres. They're max width standard tyres, but even then, they aren't massive. The hope is that all-wheel drive will save it a little bit. For a circuit that might not be the car's forte, it's not doing terribly here. At the end of the day, we're second, although Blue Team have the lead only just. I think one of our cars, I think it was X again, was sat in third or fourth and maybe missed a checkpoint or hit the wall on the penultimate corner, the outside wall on the penultimate corner. There's a set of stairs that catch cars from time to time. Either way, they have dropped down, so there's now 50 points to Blue Team in this one. We are in a little bit of no man's land here. We are slightly slower than the lead car. I can't do much about it. If I was ahead of it, I could probably make life miserable for a car following me, because we could make it very, very difficult to get past the Galant, I have no doubt, with all of our straight line speed. However, we are not really able to do all that much at the moment about moving forward, but we are at least clear of any threat from cars behind. We're going to play it. Okay, don't hit the wall. See, the dumb thing that we can do now is end up in the wall. We can run wide, clonk a wall, miss a checkpoint. All of that sort of stuff would cost effort. Actually, the disconnection has entirely ruined our points. There is a prime example. There is a prime example of. Admittedly, I think we lost a position somewhere as well, but yep. So the car in last place disconnects, and because they were in last place, we were getting more points. We lost stacks, like 500 points, because of that. Yeah. It's an interesting way of doing a point system, don't get me wrong, but it has its flaws. It has its flaws when there is an uneven team, especially if there is an uneven team during a round. It's worse. Is it worse now? I think. Regardless, doesn't matter. Whatever way round it works. Yeah. It's very, very difficult to win with the larger team number, which is not very often you get that with a team game, but it is the way it works here. yeah, it's the quirks of the points scoring system. Or it's difficult to win as the larger team if it's one of the slower cars on the other team that disconnects. Very, very difficult to then win. Come on, Galant. There we go. You're actually being slightly caught by the car behind as an Escort. Yeah, they're not bad. Actually, the Escort Cosworths can work quite nicely. They're one of those strange cars. Stats-wise, they never look that fast, but I have had some... I can't remember what my one was. It was a B-class or C-class. I've made them ones work better than I've kind of made Galant's work on the most part in the past. We've had a better end to this lap. I guess the Escort's always going to catch through the first few corners. It's then going to drop back. Well, I don't have an answer for the Golf, but we do get a second place. Not a terrible showing. Not a terrible showing for the Galant around a circuit that might always be, or might likely to be, a place that it struggled around. We did well to recover and try and get some points. Got close. Got close, not quite enough, though, for Red Team. So, up next, we head to Ambleside. Now, this is the scramble circuit. It is a full off-road, tight, twisty, nasty dirt track. Yes, I have all-wheel drive, which is good. Standard tyres aren't the worst tyres to have off-road, but if you're on off-road tyres, you're probably going to be very, very quick here. If you're on off-road tyres in B-Class, though, you might well be quite slow at other circuits. However, here, it's probably going to be quite quick. But it's probably going to win. I am hoping to... I'm hoping to score points at the end of the day. That's what we're going for here. I have all-wheel drive, which immediately puts me ahead of the cars, well, that don't have all-wheel drive around here. All-wheel drive and standard tyres doesn't beat two-wheel drive and rally tyres, I believe. I'd be very, very surprised if it did, unless it was at... There's a couple of circuits where it could. Here is not one of them, because this is such a technical dirt track. Oh, and now it is possible... I don't know whether it might be something we will see here, because... So the 90s car selection... You know, the base cars... I guess there are Golfs in here that probably could get rally tyres in the PI. I don't know. I'll be curious to know how many cars are running rally tyres. The fact that we've got to the front with our all-wheel drive standard tyred car suggests there might not actually be all that many on the rally tyres, which is a curiosity. Or they might have got stuck in traffic, to be fair. That can happen. And there might be more cars playing it two-wheel drive than potentially expected here. We'll have to wait and see. It is a curiosity at the moment. It's good for Red Team. We have a 1-2. It's good for Red Team. We have got, decent running order. If we can keep this up, that would be very, very nice indeed. We're going to take the jump down here. Now, what is that car in? The car in third is worrying me a little bit. It has kind of, say it's kind of caught quickly. Although I'm kind of just running away from everything here. This was not on the car. How I've built a power car that's accidentally a rally car. What? That's not how this works at all. Things have gone weird. I know the Galant was a rally car and everything, of course. That's not kind of what I set out to do. I mean, if it gets held up by our Golf for as long as possible, that would be helpful. I mean, it does rely on we can't lose any more positions. That's the only issue we have at the moment here. We really can't afford to lose any more positions because it is very precariously balanced here on a knife edge. We've gained... so we've got car out of last place, which has given us that 100-point lead again. But yeah, we don't really want to be losing any more positions at all if we can help it here. Oh, come on, Galant, get turned. I think there's just a lot of two-wheel drive cars in this. I'm really surprised no one's taken a gamble on rally time. I mean, normally it'd be me, let's face it, that would take a gamble. I mean, if this was open B-class, I'd be in my stupid Bentley or something on the rally tyres. As I said, 90s cars, you might not quite have as much PI to play with some of them, or you might not want to build them with rally tyres with how the PI does shake up in the end. But yeah, that's really, really surprises me here, as the Galant will jump its way down here. We have got one more time around. Don't do anything stupid now. Don't miss a checkpoint. I mean, the same does apply to all of the Red Team cars. One missed checkpoint here will be game over pretty much for us. So Got to get around the lap. This is an easy circuit to miss a checkpoint on if you're being a little too greedy. There's a number of places where you can quite readily, quite easily slide past and, yeah, dump yourself down a fair way. I'm not actually sure what car is in second place. I was trying to get a look. Oh, we've got a load of points going on now. Proto Saber is climbing back up. Now, Proto Saber missed a checkpoint early on. Makes me wonder whether that might be on rally tyres, the way it's just climbed its way through the field. Might just be all-wheel drive, I don't know. Regardless, the points have gone very much in our favour now at the end. Well, that was not the race that I expected in the slightest. We led basically from the off. Ran around there with the standard tyred Galant. Yeah. That's not at all how I expected things to go. The Prelude was the car in second that was starting to chase us down a little bit, or trying to keep, or match pace with us a little bit towards the latter stages of that one. Well, quite the curiosity. The Galant got a victory, so yay! So, up next, the Greendale Club Circuit shall be the racetrack that we take our 90s cars around. I'm starting in the middle of the pack, that's okay, because I'm not going to be there for long with my acceleration towards turn 1. Yeah, there is a long straight here. That will be nice in the Galant, although outright power cars do often come undone around here by virtue of the medium speed corners for, well, I guess the other half of the lap. Right, let's see what we have got in terms of brute force. Hopefully quite a lot of it. Jeez, it's pretty swift. Look at it go. The MX-5 is the only thing faster than it, but I'm betting that's... Oh, I'm betting that's not... Yeah, that's not nice to drive. Quad rotor, perhaps? Whatever it is, I will have the composure that it won't through the corners. So me and Exeged have got similar ideas, I presume, high-powered rear all-wheel drive, standard-tyred machines by the speed we went through the pack. Only mine is a little faster when it comes to the when it comes to that straight. Yeah, the MX-5 is just too undrivable with all of that power. Oh, whereas our cars are a little bit more manageable here. The Volkswagen is going to have a look around the outside. We'll give it space as we slide through the next corner. Come on, Galant. There we go. Right, ooh. I think, by the looks of it, I think someone had a controller malfunction. I think Django's car may have had his controller turn off. It looked like someone was in a pause menu straight in the wall. That is not what you want. That is not what you want or need to help with a race, I can tell you that much. Oh, that is just about making turn 1. There's a bit of leading. I mean, it is a very understeery car, this thing. It doesn't have a huge amount of grip. That is to be expected. It's a very compromised build. It's compromised with one thing in mind. Just sheer straight line speed. It's weird. I've been finding this kind of works with some of my B-Class cars now. There have been a couple that... This is not the normal sort of build I would go for with cars. But given the right circumstances, it can sort of work. We've got some missed checkpoints for Red Team, although we have, I think it was a car that was ours that was further down the order that missed one, so we aren't doing too badly. But yeah, this kind of just this sort of like brute force, but not 1,000 horsepower levels of brute force, can kind of work. I would say it work a little bit more in Horizon. It was a case a lot of times where I went majority handling cars, and it was majority of the time handling cars were working. But with a few, maybe a little bit more experience of the game, a little bit more used to the tracks, a few more ideas for car building, and some ludicrous powerful machines can work. They're difficult to drive and you've got to be consistent with them, which is what I'm trying my very best to do here. I think the Golf is technically better as well around a lap here. It's just had so much work to do from the start that me and, again, have managed to pull that gap out. Because, yeah, Death Strikes Golf has caught us quite quickly. I don't know how fast that is in a straight line. I also don't quite know how it's built. We didn't really get to see much of it in that first race. So I don't know. We'll have to give it a... Yeah, I guess that's got loads of grip, but way more grip than I do. How much straight line speed does it have? Can I hold it off for a couple of laps is probably the question. So yeah, I mean, we outrun it, as will hopefully our Golf get back past. Ooh, it's not as... I mean, it's still bloody quick, I'll give it that much. That has still got some serious speed about it. I would imagine it must be front-wheel drive. If it was all-wheel drive, I would expect that to have been challenging us at Ambleside, judging by its grip on the tarmac. So I'm guessing that's still a front-wheel drive. Front-wheel drive works in Horizon 4. It can be very, very fast. Hell, the A-Class French cars, the Clio, the Megans, are just unbelievably quick cars. Oh, that Golf it's going to give me a lot of grief here. Oh, it's going to give me a lot of grief there. Unfortunately for me, yeah, I just turned in a little bit too much through there. Now, I'm not even going to be close enough to fight back, I don't think, here. Sadly. Points-wise, it's not exactly like it's the end of the world here. That has got some serious lap pace in it. Now, we will get back past. This is the one plus point we've got. We are going to get back past again, down towards turn 1, but it's not easy. We needed to be back past a long time before, because we're back past, but it's almost as soon as we have to start going on the brakes for this corner. We're desperately trying to get it stopped. I wasn't brake checking the Golf there. That's literally where I have to brake to try and get it slowed down, because, well, I mean, I just don't have the grip. I just can't fight that. I do not quite have the grip. I mean, I'm kind of close. I can give it trouble, but it's never going to be enough to... Oh. Never going to be enough to quite fight with it fully. Oh, I think, yeah, Django's has got connection issues. Oh, there's technical difficulties for the Eclipse there. Yeah, we're going to have to settle for second. Unfortunately for us. However, a second, third and fourth is enough for red team here. We run very wide. It's been a bit of a scruffy final lap. Yeah, the Galant, it has its party piece. It's fun. But look at the poor 190E. 190E has a lot of grip and does not have the straight line speed of the Galant or the Golf. Yeah, we cannot match that VR6 Golf. However, we got third. Well, we did get second. The game screwed us on the finishing positions with the Mark II Golf. That was a thing. That was definitely a thing. So, after a surprisingly good performance in the first of our dirt races, what about the second? Now, this is a track, actually, that is more likely to work for the Galant. Don't mind the cat chaos going on in the background. Thank you, Cass, for running into the office like a lunatic. Yes, this track is probably, what, 2/3 tarmac, maybe? Third dirt. It's quite fast in general. There's a long hill that is going to very much help the likes of the Galant and the Golf. However, the dirt section is something you've got to be wary of, shall we say. The dirt section can catch you out. It's easy to miss checkpoints if you don't have full control of your car. Easy to get yourself into trouble along the dirt. But it is only a smaller dirt section than the likes of... oh, God, bloody hell. The likes of Ambleside. So, yeah, this is a little... I would expect the Galants to be a bit better here, but I never expected it to be able to do well at Ambleside. So, who knows? We will see what we can manage to make happen here. The MX-5 is going to be horrifically difficult to drive. I just want to get past it as quick as possible so I don't have to deal with the out of control. As I said, I presume quad rotor, whatever's in it, it's got way more power than it can deal with. Now, get to the hairpin. So, if that other Golf... Yeah, the other Golf is similarly built to me. I don't quite know in what way. The Prelude might be on rally tyres, I think. I think that is quite a distinct possibility, judging by its potential speed through there. We'll see what it's got on the tarmac. If it's got no speed on the tarmac, I'm going to get... Yeah, that's got rally tyres. The reason why I'm guessing that is if I'm pulling away that fast, the PI is going to be used somewhere on that Prelude, and that PI is going to be on tyres. It would make sense. So that'll be very quick. Yeah, God. It just doesn't stand a chance down these straights. Yeah, this is a nasty circuit for cars. You've got to you've got to have a bit of controllable power around here. I'm not sure whether mine really counts. But the bad news for us at the moment is we can have a 1-2 and that's not enough. A 1-2 actually isn't enough for us to win this. So we are going to need something to happen for us further back. Who knows what. I mean, we're going to have a little battle over the lead here, I think. I'm going to try and find a way past the Golf if at all possible. It's the cat just doing laps around the office at the moment. I don't even know which one that was. Distracto Cats want to join in the race. Can we do anything about the Golf? We've got to get it stopped down at the bottom of the hairpin, which we do. So yeah, I mean, the prelude is on them rally tyres. Sure, it's going to be quicker on bits down here, but it's just not. The sheer power of our cars is too much for it, basically, around this circuit. Oh, that's fine. We are catching the Golf. We're going to put it under pressure. Now, we are a long way clear of the rest of the field, so there is no real... I'm not really worried about, having a battle with my teammate here. Just as long as I don't push them out of a checkpoint, we can have a battle. If we lose a couple of seconds on a lap, it doesn't really matter. And indeed, the Golf is going to go very defensive up towards turn 1. We are going to go to the outside. Can we get anything to stick around there? Oh, almost. Thought about it. Kind of tried and then slid off towards the edge of the circuit. Decided the better idea there was just going to have a little bit of a lift. Deathstrike's got the VR6 up into 3rd, so that's probably being very quick on the tarmac. That will struggle against us on the dirt if it is, as I believe, still front-wheel drive. Just our traction is too much. It's too great. I seem to have a little bit more controllability on the dirt, oddly, than the Golf ahead of me. Oh, I had to have a huge lift there. There was a huge panic and wobble. It might have been a minor heart attack as I thought I was going to miss that checkpoint. That is one of the checkpoints that's super easy to miss. Oh, the Golf's in trouble, although the Golf's going to get a really good run on the exit. Yes, it does. We slid to the door, but I couldn't get on the power soon enough. And the Golf will keep hold of the lead for now. We've got a couple more laps to look for a way past. No, let's just run a little wide. We've actually had a bit of a scruffy lap here. We've lost some ground back, ground to the Volkswagen, I should say. Come on, here we go. We run wide out that corner. Yeah, we're gone. We are by far and away the fastest 2 cars on this particular circuit. Proto Saber's got some points. That has put us 50 points to the good at the moment. Oh, yeah, there's lots of defensive driving going on from the Golf. For now, it's holding. It's holding. It's going to move across immediately. It knows where it wants to be for the top of the hill. It does not want there to be a gap for me to try and fire the Galant up the inside. It's really evenly matched in terms of speed here. I mean, I think my car is a smidge faster. Is there going to be a gap to cut underneath? My car is a smidge faster, but I believe that is just on its dirt performance. I don't think it's that much faster on the tarmac. Really. Could have fired my car up the inside, although I was on such a tight line after I was going to just clonk the door of the Volkswagen. Here we go. We've got a really good run down here again now. Volkswagen's on the... Volkswagen's going for that wider line again. I'm not sure it's going to work this time around. We get our car positioned much nicer, and that will be the Galant to the lead. Now, still be careful. The Golf on that wide line will still get a good exit. We'll get a good run down to this corner here. Just make sure... we have not quite got the turn I needed through there. Eee, that was not my best piece of driving. All that work to get the lead away, and we threw it away almost immediately. We've got to, again, keep the Golf under pressure. It's going to be, I would presume, a big move across to the inside, although I haven't really ever dived at turn 1. No, the Golf's going to park it on the middle of the road. That's fair enough. We are not going to go for anything crazy. Don't go around the outside of turn 1. Just focus on getting a good exit. Again, we do. For the drag race up the hill. We're gone. We're having our own private battle here between these 2 all-wheel drive machines. We're not going to be able to do the... Again, the Golf is going to defend up here. I'm happy to try the outside this time around because I think I've got the grip to do it. We are past at the top of the hill now. That is good news for me. Don't throw it away through here, although this is the section where we expect to be better. The Golf has been very, very brave. Just kept the foot down through here as we're running door to door through this section. Up towards the hairpin we go. We're both on the brakes, frantically trying to get the car stopped. The Golf is sliding around and doesn't quite get the momentum. We are ahead once more. This is going to come down to the final couple of corners. I've got all sorts of out of shape over the crest. That is not what I needed. It's going to be exactly the same as the last pissing lap. No! I got really squirrely. It got really unhappy over that final crest. The Golf's gone too deep into the final corner. The Golf's run wide. We will get past. The Galant is going to run to the line. The Galant will take victory. Forza don't screw us out of that one. What a bloody brilliant race that was. We were miles away from everything else that was going on in that one. But what a ridiculous race. What an absolutely fantastic race that one was. We take a 1-2 with the Galant and our Mark II Golf. Third and fourth would go to blue team. Fifth, there's a lot of... Golf's doing very well in all of this. The Prelude would get fourth place in all of that. Oh, bloody hell. That was a rather exciting race. That was a rather exciting race. I do believe that is the adventure gone the way of Red Team. I don't remember how many races we've gone through in all of this one. It is indeed 3-1 to us. Red Team have taken the victory. What can happen on this final round? So, for this last race, Broadway Village Circuit will play host to these cars. Now, this track, yes, there is a nice acceleration zone. But it's not normally enough for an outright power car to work, shall we say. If I have enough control in mind, it might be okay. I think, honestly, we're going to be playing second place to that VR6 Golf. I honestly don't think we've got the... I think that's got better grip and enough speed for me not to be able to overcome it. Yeah, okay, so front-wheel drive, that thing is. We can launch very well. We can come from the back of the field up into fourth place from... Yeah, just from that launch. That's how quick the Galant is. But, of course, we struggle around here. And this part of the lap, we are not going to have as much fun with. Now, we might be able to slow down the VR6 Golf a little bit. I think that might be a smidge ambitious. Oh, I would not want to be on the outside there, buddy. We're already going too wide. I don't know whether they knew we were already too wide, but yeah, there's not a place you want to go try and make it 3 wide, especially not 3 wide on the outside of a Galant that doesn't have much in the way of steering. We're helping the Escort through the corners. Let's go chasing off after this Eclipse, if we can. Yeah, if we can get out of traffic and be ahead, if we can be well ahead of the, or let's say whatever, we can be out of traffic and we can just defend from the Gulf. I could make life awkward for it for a couple of laps. Ultimately, it will get past, but it's... Can I make life difficult enough for that couple of laps, or for long enough to be able to take a victory? I say that, I've got to get past the Eclipse first, although that does seem to be struggling a little bit. It's got more grip than me, but it is slow. In fact, there is a big gap back behind the Galant at the moment. That I like to see. That gives me a little bit of hope. The VR6 has still got to deal with my teammate, who also has high-powered all-wheel drive monstrosity of a Volkswagen. So... Okay, the Eclipse is not all that dissimilar to my car, it would seem. It's not quite got the acceleration, but it isn't that much down. We should get it to turn 1 though, but it's not that much better through the corners. That's a concern for a fellow Mitsubishi. Are we going to have it towards the first corner? I think we might just outrun it. They can move across, but it's going to be too late to try and defend. They're going to make me go a very, very tight line through here. However... Yeah, it was a good effort. The Eclipse is just not quite... It's actually a bit strange. The Eclipse, like, it had good top speed. I had initial acceleration on it. They've got good top speed. We're still not finished yet with this overtaking manoeuvre. This is not really what I wanted to deal with here. We're really going to have to work for this one, which is good. We don't want to walk in the park necessarily. Sometimes it's nice just to win a race. Eclipse is going to have a really big dive. I'm going to cut back underneath it. Again... I would probably have done a similar thing in the Eclipse's place, but unless you get it stopped perfectly on the corner, you're always going to be susceptible to that big cutback. I mean, things are going very well for Red Team around here on the old points front at the moment. Ooh. Are we likely to see... I don't think the Eclipse is going to be able to fight back. I think the Eclipse is one of those cars, much like with me against the Golf. The Eclipse could battle away with me and could kind of... I say slow us down, but we could have a fight and we could lose a little bit of time battling one another. They could maybe defend from me for a little while, but once I'm past, I think I will probably vanish into the distance, although it has had a good run through those first couple of corners. Deathstrike has got up to 3rd place with the very, very fast Golf. That might be... Oh no, the Eclipse has actually got some serious speed about it. Some serious corner speed about it. I will give it that much. Got to be careful with that street furniture there. Very easy to hit that lamppost and lose a lot of momentum. I don't think Django's lost too much speed this time around, but it is something that can happen. We're going to wander out towards the wall a little bit there, but that's all good. One more lap. There is one more lap to go. I mean, I thought I was safe at this point last lap around, and I was not by the time we got towards the end of the lap quite as well as I was expecting. So let's not take anything for granted. Let's not do anything stupid through here. Just get the car to the finish line. I think we had a better start to the lap. That's the corner I lose so much time on there. I just can't carry corner speed, whereas the Eclipse can, and the Golf further back can as well. They are not as close. Django's is not as close to have a look this time around. I'm a little wide. Just ping it off of the wall. That was, I mean, the Eclipse was going to have a dive there and get the pass completed if it was going to win, because I'm going to outrun it here, and we will outrun it out of the final corner. I think we have done enough. Just don't butcher up the final corner. Don't miss a checkpoint. Use the all-wheel drive traction. Use the straight line speed of the Galant. It's going to be victory number 3 for the Galant. Ooh, we had to fight for that one. We had a fantastic fight on the way through of that one. Well done, Django's with the Eclipse. Kept us honest, very honest, in second place at the end of that. Death Strikes Golf was probably the quicker car, but didn't get through the traffic well enough to quite catch up in time. Ooh, that is probably the most competitive I've had a Galant. Weirdly working on the dirt, despite entirely not designed for that. I just don't think we had very many all-wheel drive cars running. I think it was working on the dirt more by virtue of other cars being less suited than anything else. But there we have it. Started a little slow, and then we had some manic races towards the end of that one. Red team do take victory. Yeah, I like the Galant. I like that. It's a bit of a specialist B-class car, but could definitely see it working. That, though, is going to be it for this video. Thank you all very much for watching it. If you would like to take part in the next one of these, you can sign up via our forums. There'll be a link in the description. Find the FailRace versus the community section, and you can sign up in there. That, though, is going to be it from me. Until next time, a goodbye.